All right, everybody. The attendance was 5,029. We did a gate of $340,000. The fight of the night is Poirier Corsani. Performance of the night was Nunes and Jimmo. They all won $50,000, so congratulations to them. Who's got the first question? Raise your hand. They'll give you the microphone.
Did you expect to have more fans for this event?
Well, you never know. I mean, you come into a venue, you never know. But this is actually an above-average Ultimate Fighter finale. The Tough 18, this one did 340,000. Tough 18 did 322. Tough 16 did 318. Tough 15 did 195,000. And those are all on Saturday nights. Tonight's a Wednesday night. So.
And the Montreal Canadiens are playing.
Yeah, which sucks too. Yeah, I got it.
Dana, do you agree with all the decisions tonight?
Did what?
You agree with all the decisions?
Yeah, I think I pretty much did. I don't know.
Maybe Cote and Noak could be controversial.
No.
No?
Cote won that fight.
Okay.
There's no doubt Cote won that fight. Not only did Cote win that fight, Kyle Noak was down 2-0 and didn't come out and try to finish the fight in the last round. He threw a lot of front kicks and used his distance well to keep him away from him, but didn't do anything to really try to win the fight.
Thank you.
In my opinion.
Hi, Dave from
And, I'm sorry, sir. And had him hurt with that knee really bad, and when he hurt him with the knee really bad, never even tried to finish. When you hurt Cote, which is very hard to do, you better knock his ass out when you have the opportunity. And he didn't even try to. I'm done now. Go ahead, sir.
A couple quick questions. First for Kyle. First for Patrick. It seemed like Kyle might have hurt his hand in the first round. Was he hurt or?
I don't know. I saw him at the doctor after. I saw that his hand was pretty big. He told me that he broke his hand, but I didn't know that wasn't the first round.
Oh, fair enough. For Dustin Poirier, just a quick question. It seems like at the weigh-ins, you and Akira Corsani got into a bit of a shoving match, but after the fight, you were all hugs. Was there any sort of legitimate anger between you, or was it just business?
Yeah. I didn't plan on that happening. It just kind of happened, But, I knew Akira because I went and helped Frankie Edgar a while back, and he trains with Frankie, so I met him before. And,
And lastly, question for Dana. Were you happy with this season, and are you considering doing another series of Ultimate Fighter, Canada versus something, or would you rather explore other markets?
No, absolutely. No, I mean, yeah, we're going to other markets too, but we're staying in Canada. Canada's a great market for us. This was a very successful season of Tough, and I think you saw here, it always happens. Every season of every Ultimate Fighter, no matter where it is, the best rise to the top, and we always end up with the best guys at the end of the season, and the finales are always great. I think that... I think these kids fought their ass off. It was great. One of the things that happened tonight, you had the Bisping Kennedy fight, which obviously got a lot of attention, big main event fight, a lot of talk, but then all these guys came in and really stole the show.
Dana, my question is for you. After the fight, Sarah was telling us that she would love to fight Kat Zingano in June on the Vancouver show. Is there an update on Kat Zingano when she's going to be ready to fight
Kat's
again?
out for a while. Obviously, she everybody knows what happened with her knee, and then the other tragedy that happened in her life. She's got a lot of stuff to deal with, mentally, physically, emotionally, before she can start training to come back and fight again.
Okay. And one just for Elias, if you could just take us through the opening minutes of the fight. Sheldon came out with a very, very fast pace, and just tell us just a bit about weathering that storm and then kind of changing the tide.
Yeah, whoa, this is cool and new. Basically he did exactly what I was expecting him to do, what we worked so hard on. He came out like a bull, a little less actually than I thought he was. But with that being said, I just did what I usually do. I said no. He was able to get my back at some point, but my coaches even talked about it afterwards, where they thought that he broke mentally when my coaches said, "Come here." And I just walked over to him. It was a little bit of a delay until I finally pulled him down and hit him, but I did what I needed to do. Win.
Monsieur White, can we expect the UFC to come back in Quebec at some point?
Yeah, I think we will come. I mean, tonight was a great night. The crowd, the energy was good. Love to come back here when it's not on a Wednesday night.
Question pour...
Yeah, in summer.
Question pour Patrick. T'es 3-0 à Québec. Fiche parfaite. Non, parle-nous un peu évidemment de l'accueil puis du combat rapidement.
Ben, j'adore de me battre ici à Québec ou à Montréal. Là. J'ai justement une défaite dans ma carrière à l'extérieur du UFC. Ici, au Canada, j'ai seulement une seule défaite également. C'était contre Alan Belcher. On sait un peu ce qui s'est passé un peu avec l'espèce de marteau pilon, mais non, la foule est tout le temps super le fun à combattre ici. Ils sont des bons supporters. Puis je pense que c'est sûr que, comme Dana disait mercredi soir, c'est toujours difficile pour la première venue, mais je pense que la foule qui était là ce soir était bruyante puis elle était là tout le long. Là.
Yes, my question is for Sarah. Sarah, congratulations on the UFC win. There were a lot of, an amazing amount of punches thrown in that fight. The strikes, I think you were over 200 or something. How did it feel with that much leather being thrown around? And do you kind of go in an autopilot on a fight like that?
Well, I'd fought Leslie before, and I knew that she was going to come in, and she's not going to go away easily. And I felt like I really started to put some combinations together, and it didn't feel like I threw that many. I probably could have thrown even more. I really liked the high volume and really letting loose a little bit, and tried to get the finish, but unfortunately, she's tough and just stayed in there. But I was really happy overall with the 3 rounds.
And Patrick, over to your right here. Congratulations on your win. Can you tell us just how badly damaged were you by that knee in the second round?
Actually, I didn't know that was a knee. I felt dizzy for 2 or 3 seconds, but I came back very fast, and I saw that he took his distance, and I was, maybe he saw something that in my eyes that he saw that I was back. But I was. I wasn't rocked, but I was a little bit dizzy, but I was still in the fight. I knew it where I were, but now I know that was a knee.
All right, Patrick. While you're looking this way, did you hurt your left knee at some point in the fight? It looked like you were favoring it or hobbling. Maybe just not putting too much pressure.
No, I twist my ankle a little bit, and it took me maybe a minute and a half just to get back the feeling okay in my leg, but no serious injury.
KJ, how serious were you coming into the fight about potentially walking away if you don't win that one? How serious were those thoughts in your mind?
Well, this is I think my 52nd pro fight with boxing, kickboxing, and MMA. So there's a lot of miles on this engine, So I don't know. It just depends on every fight is different, and when you take a lot of punishment, it's hard to come back, and you put a lot into the camp. So I don't know. Just got to make the decision after the fight. But I felt like this was a good win for me. So not taking on a guy that has never been knocked out at a different weight class too. It was fun.
And just a quick one for Tim. Hello. Coming into the fight, you all personal feelings aside, you did acknowledge, that Michael has been a top 10 guy. This would be a huge win for you. Now that you've had a little bit of time, maybe you didn't get the finish you wanted, anything like that, but, a little bit of time now. How big was this win?
It was a huge win. It was the biggest opportunity that Dana's ever given me, and I was really humbled to be in a main event against perennial contender. I dominated Michael Bisping, a guy that's been number 5 or in the top 5 for forever, and moving him out a few times, side control a few times, takedowns when I wanted them, hit him with big shots, and I'm just super disappointed that I didn't finish him. That's what I come here to do, is always finish fights, and I hurt him on a bunch of occasions, so it didn't do what this fight didn't do what it was supposed to, which is move me into this guy should be fighting for a title. It's a big win. It's the biggest of my career, but it didn't put me where it should. So that's all on me. I just need another opportunity to get in there and show I deserve to be fighting with the best.
For Elias and Chad, you guys are both right here. You guys are both undefeated fighters right now, coming up. How would you like to see your UFC careers progress from here? We see some of these Ultimate Fighter winners, they got a slow build, but then you look at a guy like Kelvin Gastelum, who's already fighting top 15 guys in his 3rd fight. Where would you guys like to go from here?
Honestly, I'll fight whoever Dana wants me to fight. Whoever they pick, I'll be ready.
One step at a time. I got a couple days to kind of chill out and then get in the training and rinse and repeat and do the same thing over again. Whatever this man says, I'm fighting, I'm fighting.
And then for Dustin down here, you have the most wins in featherweight history and the most fights. Where would you like to go from here? The featherweight's a really deep division right now, so what would you like to have next?
Yeah, there's a lot of tough guys, but I'd like to rematch Cub Swanson. I would like the winner of the Swanson-Stevens fight, but I think they're fighting for the title, whoever wins that. So, whatever they want, man. I'm going to get back to the gym, put this work in, and be ready for whoever.
Allô, Pascal de Karaté Sunfuki. Ma première question est pour Patrick Côté. Patrick, du point de vue du combattant de ta carrière, quel est l'avantage d'accepter de participer à une saison du Ultimate Fighter pour toi?
Ben, moi, j'avais participé à la saison 4 en tant que combattant. Par la suite, j'ai un combat de championnat du monde en 2008. Je pense que tous les combattants de l'UFC, après avoir un combat de championnat du monde, maintenant, comment c'est rendu gros, la télé-réalité de l'ultime combattant, tu vas être entraîneur parce que c'est une belle visibilité. Puis pour moi, j'ai pris ça juste du positif. J'ai juste du positif à dire de cette émission-là. On a bien fait. En plus, j'avais une bonne équipe avec moi. Puis ça m'a juste donné encore plus de visibilité. Puis ça m'a fait avancer en tant qu'athlète.
En anglais, s'il vous plaît.
Yeah, the question was if I was happy to participate in Tough Nation as a coach. I said, yeah, for sure. In season 4, I was there as a contestant. After that, I had the title fight 2008, and it's just over the top now. The cherry on the sundae right now to be coach on the Ultimate Fighter season. I think everybody want that after a title fight. This is a great opportunity to get and see. And I had a great team with me. I had the opportunity to represent my country, but at the same time to be coach at the tough season. So it's huge, and I have only good thing about that.
Patrick, Benoît de RDS. J'aimerais que tu me parles un petit peu du combat de Chad et de Olivier en tant que coach. Est-ce que tu t'attendais à ce résultat-là et comment tu pourrais qualifier la belle performance de Chad dans ce combat-là?
Ouais, on s'attendait exactement à ça. C'était une guerre de plan de match, je pense, ce combat-là. On savait que Chad voulait garder le combat debout. Il a un bon takedown defense. Il est très bon pour se relever debout. On savait qu'Olivier, c'est plus un bully un peu avec beaucoup de technique. Mais il aurait voulu amener le combat au sol. Mais Chad a fait ses devoirs, est arrivé au combat fin prêt. Puis on a vu le résultat à la fin.
Et pour le combat chez les poids moyens, Elias contre Sheldon?
Ben, Elias était favori. On a vu pourquoi. On savait que si ça allait dépasser les 2 premières minutes du premier round, Elias partait grand favori. Puis c'est ça qui est arrivé. On a vu que sa condition physique, il était imposant physiquement aussi beaucoup plus que son adversaire. Puis ça a fait de la différence à la fin.
And one last question for Chad. Obviously, your game plan was to defend his takedown. Did you work on that in your camp, and how did you do it? Because he's a pretty good at judo.
Yeah, for this camp, I hired a judo coach to come in, and I worked extensively every single day, wrestling and judo, to stop that takedown. I didn't get off my strikes as I really would have liked to, but I promise you guys, next fight, I'll bring some more fireworks.
Thank you, guys.
My question's for Chad. Chad, congratulations on a great win, great performance. I'm wondering, is Olivier your toughest match yet? And I know you're not really going to call who you want to fight next, but how fast do you want to get back in the cage?
Yeah, he was definitely one of my toughest fights. Stylistically, he's not the best matchup for me. He's a lefty. He's a pure grappler. I would prefer somebody who wants to stand and bang with me, and I can show off some of my striking skills. And honestly, whoever I'll fight next, whoever Dana says. And honestly, to fight as soon as possible. I'm really not hurt. My forearms and shins are banged up, but I'll be ready to go.
Question en français pour Pat. Pat, ça fait ici. Salut. Ça fait une couple d'années que tu nous dis que tu travailles fort pour devenir un combattant plus complet, pour te sortir peut-être de l'image du cogneur qu'on a de toi depuis des années. Puisque tu as l'impression que ta performance de ce soir, c'est l'exemple parfait que tu y es arrivé, dans le fond.
Ben, je pense que oui. Je pense que ce soir, j'ai montré que j'étais vraiment un combattant d'arts martiaux mix plus complet. J'ai montré des belles qualités au niveau de la lutte. J'ai amené le combat au sol. Je me suis pas fait amener au sol. C'est moi qui ai contrôlé le combat lorsqu'on était au sol. Bon ground and pound. J'ai travaillé au sol. J'ai pas eu de moment mort. Fait que j'ai travaillé beaucoup. Donc, c'est sûr que je savais que ma faiblesse, j'avais des faiblesses à travailler, je l'ai faite. Ce soir, j'ai prouvé que j'avais fait mes devoirs. Sorry. Yeah, the thing is, I know that my weakness was my wrestling, and I've been working on that very, very hard. And I think tonight I proved that I'm not just a striker anymore. I'm a real mixed martial artist. I'm more well-rounded than before. And I was aware about my weakness, and I've been working on that very hard.
Peux-tu spécifier sur ce que tu as dit dans l'octogone après ta victoire par rapport à ta place dans la division des 170? Maintenant, 3 victoires de suite, tu as parlé que la division était wide open et tout ça. Cette semaine, tu disais que tu prenais ça un combat à la fois. C'est quoi ta vision là-dessus?
Ouais, un combat à la fois pour moi. Écoute, j'ai 34 ans. Je viens d'avoir 34 ans. Je me sens super bien. Je sais que c'est cliché, mais je mets aussi bien senti physiquement, mentalement. Ce soir, je pense que j'ai montré que j'avais une bonne composure, comme on dit en anglais. J'ai pris mon temps. J'ai attendu mes occasions, puis j'en ai profité. Puis je pense que c'est pour ça que j'ai remporté la victoire ce soir.
Tu as déjà eu une petite chicane avec Bisping il y a plusieurs années de ça. Lui, il a perdu 3 de ses 5 derniers. Maintenant, vas-tu demander de descendre à 70?
Non, c'est fini, ça. Écoute, ça fait plusieurs années. Puis, écoute, je suis un grand fan de lui. Puis, écoute, je pense que je vais le rester. Il se présente tout le temps pour faire des bons spectacles. Puis, Edgar, il va remporter la victoire.
This question's for Dana. Dana, how did you assess tonight's tough finale fights? And do you have any plans of doing an upcoming season of The Ultimate Fighter in Canada again?
Like I said earlier, I thought just like any of the fighters, it always seems to work out. The best rise to the top for the finale, and the finales are always great fights. I thought these guys, like I said, I thought these guys stole the show tonight. It was great. And as far as what's next for The Ultimate Fighter, Tom, what's the answer to that?
You said it earlier. He loves Canada, so do we.
Yeah. That means Tom doesn't know what the hell we're doing next. So I'm sure we'll figure it out, and we'll let you know.
Mr. White again. Quick questions about Olivier Aubin-Mercier. Obviously, you lost tonight, but I was wondering, first of all, what you thought of his fight, and second of all, if there was a chance to see him again in Montreal in December, even though he lost.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, just because you lose here doesn't mean that you're never going to fight again, depending on how many losses you have and where you are. But, yeah, absolutely.
What about the fight tonight? Did you think, how would you qualify his performance? How would you qualify his performance?
I thought everybody did great tonight. Like I said, I thought tonight was a great event. There were tons of great fights, him included.
Puis-je parler en anglais, s'il vous plaît?
Show off.
Yeah. Just a question for you, Dana, first of all. One of the things coming into tonight's fight between Tim and Michael Bisping was there were question marks about Michael's eye. Do you think that held up tonight and it showed that he is fine to fight?
I hope so. I mean, he went 5 rounds. I think what happened to Bisping tonight, it wasn't his eye. It wasn't the fact that he's had a lot of time off. It was the fact that he and I didn't think either that Tim could take him down and control him on the ground as easily as he did. I'm learning more and more about Tim Kennedy every time he fights too. And I honestly, Bisping's wrestling is underrated big time. And he took him down when he wanted to, and his jiu-jitsu is too. He's got great jiu-jitsu. And Tim Kennedy, like Tim said earlier, and it's a fact, he dominated him on the ground.
And apart from, of course, not leaving behind Dustin's amazing performance tonight, which it was. For me, Elias Theodorou looked tremendous in there tonight. One of the best fighters I've ever seen in a tough
I
final.
agree.
Could you talk about this young man? Because he seemed to showcase so many skills.
Yeah, he looked fantastic. And one of the things, when you come into this situation, these guys come off tough and come into the finale. There's a lot of pressure, and he acted like there was no pressure. Kid looked really good tonight. Completely dominant performance. Had fun in there doing it, and I agree with you.
Dana, just a quick follow-up on Tim. He doubted that he did enough, to really vault himself into, give that guy a title shot. How close is he?
I have no idea. No idea.
I didn't dote. I was disappointed. I finished fights, and I didn't finish fight tonight, so that's not doting. That's complaining about myself for freaking sucking tonight. So,
All right.
So we're clear.
Okay, fair enough. All right. Elias, you in the middle of the fight, you had your head down in, in Sheldon's chest. And you had the presence to, A, know where the camera was, and B, think to say hello to your mom. What's going through your head at that point? And was is that just kind of shits and giggles, or what were you thinking?
Well, I don't know if she could hear it because she is actually in the stands. But with that being said, I am actually in the moment. I've had 10 professional fights, and I honestly live in the moment. So I felt comfortable, I felt confident, and I could see myself slowly breaking my opponent's will. So why not have some fun in it? It was the most important fight of my life, and I enjoyed every second of it. There's no nerves, just smiles while you're punching someone in the face.
Dana, I saw you all night long taking pictures with fans, taking selfies. I think you're the only president of a sports organization who does that. I don't think I could see Gary Bettman do that kind of thing. Why do you think it's so important to do that kind of things with the fans?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if it's important, if it's a maker or breaker as a sports league. But I'm always, if this sport is very approachable and the fighters are. I am. These people came out tonight, and I know it's a big hockey night here in Canada. It's a work night here in Canada. People came out. They paid. They came to see. If you want a picture with me, I'll stand in there all night and take pictures with you. I mean, it's just. It's not that I think it's a make it or break it for the company. Just the way this company has been since day one and will be as long as I'm here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Tim, you seem pretty critical of your own performance tonight, but what positives can you take away from it? You look at Bisping's record, and he's only really lost to guys that are former champions of major organizations. So what can you take away that's positive from this win?
It was a good game plan. My coaches put together what I was supposed to do, which was big entries, big punches, set up to takedowns, make him scared of the takedown so I could hit him with big punches. So good game planning by my coaches. Another positive is, one of my friends was spit on. Another one of my friends was illegally kneed on the ground, and I wanted to get a little revenge. So I guess that's a little positive. I got a long road to making sure I execute what I'm supposed to do in a fight, which is finish fights. I'm a finisher. I have one of the highest finishing rates in the UFC. So this Michael Bisping's super tough. I should have been able to finish him, and my positional. I'd get to where I was supposed to be, like side control, and but then I'd stop there and not do damage. I did all this work to get to the ground, to get to side control, pass his guard, and then I'd hang out there. So making sure that I hurt him. I don't know. I don't think I have anything positive right now. Ask me something that I did bad, and I can answer you. Yeah, anything? Man, so much. No, positives. Good entries, big punches, good takedowns, driving into the cage, decent head movement. I want to put on big, explosive fights, and, I'm on my way to doing that.
Team, even though you're very critical of yourself, most guys aren't able to hold Michael down, as Dana mentioned. They just can't. What about your game allows you to even get to that position and do that and positionally control him the way that you did?
I've been a black belt in jiu-jitsu for a while, and I've had the humility to train with some of the best guys in the world. Rodrigo Cabral and Rodrigo Pinheiro, and my coaches in Austin from Gracie Humaita. They're with Rabuto Tusa in Albuquerque. I mean, these are like some of the best grapplers on the planet, and these are the guys I roll with on a daily basis. Unless you're training with the best, you're never going to be the best. So I just surround myself with the best, and I guess the end result is being decent at jiu-jitsu. I've been doing this for 13 years. You guys haven't seen anything on the ground yet. I was supposed to smother him on the ground so I could hit him with big punches and knock him out. I smothered him on the ground, and I kind of hit him with big punches. I got a lot more to show, and you're going to get little glimpses of what I can do, and that was a little glimpse. I got a lot more to show.
And two sort of quick ones. How did you come out health-wise after 5 rounds, and Is there anyone that you kind of have your eye on that you'd like to fight next?
On my wife. You know, I can't wait to see her. And okay. Mark Munoz, Musasi. You know, they're right around me. They have a fight coming up. That's a big fight. Unfortunately, both my Strikeforce team guys are in the same kind of rankings as I with Luke Rockwood and Jacare. You know, they both have big fights. Or Jacare, I guess, was calling the winner of Bisping and me out. I already fought both of them. I want to keep fighting marquee UFC guys. So, you know, Mark Munoz winning. If he beats Musasi, that'd be a great fight for me. And so, I don't know. I'm gonna start calling guys out on Twitter in about 5 days. So, the what? Oh yeah, man, I'm fine. I don't get much damage in fights. You know, I just get pissed off. So.
Quick question for Chad Laprise. Your opponent tonight, Olivier Aubin-Mercier, was a hometown guy, and even though you won the Ultimate Fighter Canada, you kind of got a negative reaction in the building. How did that feel for you, and do you think it really was a split decision? Because it seemed like you won pretty decisively.
Yeah, I definitely have to go back and watch the fight. It's definitely hard to tell, like, when you're in there, right? But having the crowd boo me didn't faze me one bit. You know, I was here to do a job, and that was to win the fight, and the boos just motivated me more.
And one more quick question for KJ and for Dana. KJ, you and Sam Stout seem to have a gentleman's agreement to just not cut the weight and fight at 170. Do you think that's going to start a trend? And Dana, what do you think of that situation?
You want to answer that first, Dana?
I'm curious too. Go ahead.
Well, you know, we were actually almost on weight, and he came up to me, and we actually ran into each other. And he said, I heard his corner say, you think KJ would do it? And I thought they were talking shit. And I turned around and I said, what'd you say? They said, oh, we're just joking. You think you want to do a catch weight? I said, yeah, sure. I'm almost on weight. Why don't we do a catch weight so we can put on a better performance? You know, we're looking for a fight of the night. And turned out good for me. I felt great at 170. So, yeah, it was, I guess 170 is a good weight for me. But for the future fighters, I don't know. It was fun, though. I had a good time.
Well, it's obviously an odd thing. It doesn't happen a lot. You know, I'm not opposed to it happening in this case here, but yeah, it's definitely not a trend we want to start. Let's do one more.
Just Tim again. Back to that to your fight with Mike. In the second round, remember the Lawler Hendricks fight where Lawler quite deliberately slowed the fight in the second round against Hendricks and stood very close to him. Some people thought you might be taking a rest in the second round, but was that your tactic in the second round to actually try and slow the fight so you could counterpunch? Because that's what it seemed to be to me, and that was a kind of one of the pattern shifts in the fight from you.
I wanted him to start moving forward. You know, I was moving forward the entire first round, hitting takedowns and hitting him with big punches. It's a lot easier to hit a takedown on a guy that's moving towards you, so you don't have to cover as much distance. So the rhythm change was to try to lure him forward. What Greg and Winklejohn started screaming at me was I kept moving backwards, which is not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to let them start moving forward, and then you explode forward. I was like, oh, I'm going to move backwards, and then I'm going to move backwards some more. So I think I broke my hand the first round. I didn't want to lie to you, so I'll just be honest. You know, I'll get an X-ray tomorrow. And so I was like, I kind of had to stop being a pussy in the second round. I was like, my right hand really hurts. Screw it. I'll just hit him with it. So the second round was me just not being a pussy and just getting my shit together and starting hitting him again. So we'll find out tomorrow.
Good. All right, one more thing I have to. I wanted to give you guys before we wrap this up. So the Tough Finale bonus winners for the season. Fight of the season went to Chris and Chad. Congratulations. Performance of the season went to Chad. That's $50,000 for you. Congratulations. And the other performance bonus went to Sheldon. So congratulations to everybody, and thank you all for a great night. Thanks for coming out. We appreciate it.